Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the full SITREP for the day of 216, 27 of September. So let's start off with weird statements. So after the referendum, referendum result came out. Zelensky, at the meeting, I think it's before or after, I'm not sure. So at the meeting at the UN Security Council, he said that if Russia recognizes the results of the referendum, then he and Putin will have nothing more to talk about. So there is nothing more to talk about between Zelensky and Putin because 100% Russia is going to recognize the results. And talking about the results, so the results has came out. The referendum results, of course, is no surprise to anyone, because obviously it's definitely designed to win. So 100% of the ballots has been counted. So Donetsk have 99.23% of the people voting to join Russia. Lugansk got 98.42. Zaporizhia have 93.11 and Kherson 87.05. So percent. So all these are percent. So all these are voting to join Russia, and of course this referendum is highly flawed, especially for Zaporizhia and Kherson. Donetsk and Luhansk, Donetsk also considered flawed, I would say. Luhansk one is not so flawed because they got almost 100% of the territory. So Zaporizhia and Kherson is highly, weird. But anyway, like I said, the referendum result is just arbitrary. Obviously, this is going to be the result, which is why the legitimacy of such a referendum is always going to be in question. The problem is who can compete or fight against such a referendum result. And on the side note, suddenly there's information saying that the head of Catalonia announced his intention to hold their own referendum for independence. So let's see, we're going to see some cognitive dissonance coming about this another referendum. Anyway, from my understanding, Spain don't recognize Catalonia's referendums anyway. So the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported one Russian aircraft shot down over Ukraine. So they are getting more and more unspecific. First, they don't tell you the location. Now they don't even tell you what kind of aircraft they shot down. So it's getting either a bit lazy or a bit sloppy. Over at the Mykolaiv front, there's nothing to report. Over at the Davydiv front, there is reinforcement reported at Berezhnye over here, and there is information of Russian sending their bombers throwing a massive fat bombs, super big bombs on Ukrainian position. As a result, according to the pro-Russian source Ryba, the Ukrainian forces that survived quickly withdrew from all the settlements except Andriivka and Bilohirka. But this is of course a pro-Russian source. You take it with a massive pinch of MSG. And there is report of fighting at Bezymene according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So that's all from the Davydiv front. Over at the Kryvyi Rih front, we have information from the day before because the Russian MOD report came out late. Just like, I haven't seen today's Russian report yet, so we will be reporting it tomorrow. So there's a MiG-29 shot down over Rezivka, and another one shot down over also Korivka. And this is shot down by Russian aircraft, which means that, like I said in the previous few summaries already, the surface-to-air missile systems of the Ukrainians are severely lacking, and the Russian aircraft can pretty much have air superiority over this territory. And otherwise, there's nothing else at the Kryvyi Rih front. At the Zaporizhia line, a gathering of forces continue to be reported at Vozyzhska and Huaypole. And there is a Ukrainian offensive reported at Nestyanka. However, it still did not get what they want. This is like the third time or fourth time I've reported this attack against Nestyanka. And that's all from the Zaporizhia line. Over at the Donetsk front, previously I mentioned about the rumors about the Ukrainians going to attack Preshestivka. It happened. So the Ryba reported fighting in the village of Preshestivka. And over at the Novo-Mikhailivka, there is continued fighting reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry also reported fighting at Bojeda over here. So, and there's fighting reported at Povomaisky, and there is something rather new or revived. There is fighting reported at Zalizny. So Zalizny area here haven't seen fighting for some time already, at least a month. So there's a revival of fighting over at this southeast side of Torets city. Fighting continue to be reported at Mayos at the Bakhmut front, and there's fighting reported at Mykolaiivka Druha according to the Ukraine Defense Ministry, and heavy fighting reportedly at Oredivka. So the word they use is heavy fighting, and fierce fighting. And at Zaiseve, fighting is continuing to be reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and that's all from the Bakhmut front. Over at the Sivas front, the Ukrainians have launched attack towards the Russian position east of Sperne. However, the pro-Ukrainian sources say that the attack has failed. And further up north of the Sivas front, the Ukrainian forces have launched a crossing over the Seversky Donetsk River at multiple points of the river, from Kryva Luka all the way to Bilohorivka. The exact location of the pontoon crossing is unclear. However, it is known that they have crossed over a lot of equipment, and they are gathering their forces for a major offensive. According to Ryber's mapping, they mapped that the Brova has been captured by the Ukrainian forces. They did not mention in their text, they only put it in their map. So you can take this with a pinch of salt. And recon forces has been spotted at Toretsk and Yampil. From my understanding, from further information that I have read, so is that the Ukrainian recon forces actually drove car. So they drove a car and raced all the way to Toretsk, and so that's how they get there. So, however, this also means that with the capture of Dibrova or possible Ukrainian forces around here, this entire road is no longer safe for resupply and reinforcement. So that's kind of shitty for the Russian side. And fighting is reported over at the Lyman front from Ozene to Lyman. This is a continued offense, or has been happening for some time already. And of course from Shushrov to Lyman. So this continue to be the 2 points where the Ukrainian forces continue to put pressure on the Lyman defenses. This hook thingy I don't think it exists anymore. So let's push this backwards. And so to be more accurate, Drobyshevi continues to be to see fighting, and there's fighting reported at Novoselivka. In later information, based on War Mapper on Twitter, he mentioned that Novoselivka has been captured by the Ukrainian forces. There is fighting reported at Shandry Holove. After the Russian forces have counterattacked and recaptured Sandry Holove, the Ukrainian forces was fighting at Seredje, and after that they managed to capture it according to War Mapper as well. And Korovia has been confirmed to have captured according to the pro-Ukrainian source Deep State UA. And over at the eastern side of this northern Lyman front, the Ukrainians have multiple success. They managed to capture Katerinivka, Nove, and they attacked Zelina Dolena. And so originally the Russians seems to have managed to hold them back. However, in the latest information by Suryak maps, they mentioned Zelina Dolena has been captured, and later there is fighting reported at Kolozyazi. So, according to Russian source Ryba, Kolozyazi was attacked from 3 directions. It's unclear which 3 directions, but the units were originally holding their position. However, in the latest information by Military Land Net, they say that the officers from Bar 13 unit, the Russian Bar 13 unit, has announced or mentioned that Kolozyazi has been captured by the Ukrainian forces. This put tremendous pressure on the Russian reinforcement. The only road left is this road through Terny and Zarishne to Lyman. This is the only road left for reinforcement and resupply. And with Ukrainian forces already so close, they are only just like 4 kilometers away from the road, which means that they do have fire control over this road. And so technically, Lyman is now in a operational encirclement, as they can no longer have a clear route of resupply and reinforcement without getting shelled. So operational encirclement of Lyman has achieved by the Ukrainian forces. And over at the Oskil front, the Ukrainian forces has finally broke through the eastern Kupiansk defense, and they have captured the eastern Kupiansk. And they immediately moved south and captured Podoli, as well as Kupiansk anyway, whatever this called. There is a photo come out of them raising a flag at this location, and they will reportedly have already captured the railway station. I would say that railway station is here. I would say that there is no Russian defenders around here, so there was fighting reported around here, but it looks like this fierce fighting isn't that fierce if the Ukrainians have been able to capture it so quickly. And moving further up north, at the Zorishna region, the Ukrainian forces currently is attacking Tanzilzanka. There is no other information regarding this area. This area is a bit harder to attack for the Ukrainian forces because it's much closer to the Russian border, which means the Russian Air Force can help out with the defense here much more efficiently as compared to much more further south over at the Lyman front. So which is why we have so many reports of aircraft activity around this area. And I think that's about it. So pretty short. I should have just done this SITREP and don't do the tiny one. Anyway, this is the full SITREP for the day of 216 for the 27th of September. I have already seen new developments. I haven't mapped it into this map. Information from 10 o'clock, as of 10 o'clock of Ukrainian time. I seen some information from Ryba, and I didn't read carefully. I just glanced through. I think it's more Ukrainian success, and I will be reporting it later. So anyway, let this video have some time to breathe, and I'll see you in the next update.